Windsurf runs at 950 tokens per second, which is 14 times faster than Claude Code, and it costs $10 less per month. I want to show you exactly where that gap holds up and where it doesn't. Both tools have gotten serious upgrades recently, so this comparison matters right now, and I'm running them through 5 tests pulled from official docs, press benchmarks, and community data I could actually verify. Windsurf looks like the obvious pick on price and speed, but there's one test coming up where Claude Code does something Windsurf flat out can't do, and it could completely change the answer depending on your codebase size. My name is Brian, and I'm in these tools 12 hours a day, so you don't have to be. I went through every number both companies will actually stand behind, scored only where verified data exists, and I'm giving you the straight breakdown right now. A solo dev shipping a production app needs to know if the $10 monthly price gap is worth it, or if the tool they pick is going to fall apart on a 100,000 line repo. And that's exactly what these 5 tests answer. Test 1 is code generation accuracy, and the number that kicked this whole thing off is 40 or 8%. That's Windsurf's verified SWE bench score on their SWE 1.5 model, and Claude Code has no published SWE bench number at all, which is a pretty big deal when you're trying to pick between them. What surprised me is how lopsided the data is. Windsurf's SWE 1.5 hits 40.8% on SWE bench, verified by press coverage, and runs at 950 tokens per second, while Claude Code's 70% bug fix claim is community reported from Opus 4.8, an older model, so I'd take that number with a grain of salt. The gap is a little narrower than it looks though. Windsurf's 80% functional output for Python and JavaScript is also community reported, not independently verified. And Claude Code's bug fix rate covers a specific model on specific tasks, so these are not apples to apples numbers, and you should keep that in mind. Windsurf takes test 1. Claude Code doesn't have a competing benchmark to put up against it, so Windsurf's verified 40.08% at 14x. The speed is the only hard data on the table, and that puts Windsurf up 1-0. Test 2 is real-time collaboration, and a 2-person team trying to pair on a bug fix in real time finds out fast that one of these tools locks out the second developer entirely, which is a workflow killer that never shows up on a pricing page. The picture here is pretty clear. Windsurf has native real-time multi-user editing where everyone sees cursors and changes live, but Claude Code's shared sessions on the team plan at $30 per user per month only let one person drive, and everyone else is just watching. Windsurf wins test 2 pretty easily. The team plan's shared session model is read-only for everyone except the driver, and Windsurf's native live editing is just a different class of feature, so that's 2 for Windsurf, 0 for Claude Code. Test 3 is IDE and workflow integration. Both tools work great inside VS Code, that part's true, but the real question is what happens when you need to push to production or ping your Slack channel from inside the tool, because that's where the difference actually shows up. Both cover VS Code and JetBrains, so that part's a draw, but Windsurf has a one-click Netlify deploy built right into the IDE, which is genuinely unique, and Claude Code connects to Slack, Linear, and HubSpot through MCP connectors, so they're strong in completely different directions. This one's a tie. Windsurf owns the deployment side and Claude Code owns the team tooling side, and neither is clearly better, so the score stays at Windsurf 2, Claude Code 0, 1 tied. 2 tests left, and the next one is where Windsurf's lead gets real pressure, because if you're working on a large codebase, 100,000 lines or more, the context window test coming up is the one that could flip your whole decision. Test 4 is context window and large codebase handling, and the number here is 65%, which is the share of developers who report context failures with Windsurf's Cascade engine on big repos. That's not a minor bug, that's a majority of users hitting a wall mid-session. The gap here is pretty real. Claude Code runs on 200,000 plus tokens and reads the repo on demand, while Windsurf sits at around 100,000 tokens and the Cascade engine is known to degrade, and both figures come from community reports, so keep that in mind. Claude Code takes test 4. The downside of being wrong with Windsurf is losing context halfway through a refactor on a massive codebase, and 200,000 tokens versus 100,000 is a real gap, so that makes it Windsurf 2, Claude Code 1, 1 tied. Test 5 is pricing and transparency, and the number that matters here is $30, which is what Claude Code's team plan costs per user per month before you've written a single line of code, and with Windsurf at a $20 per month pro plan, that $10 gap per seat per month compounds fast on a real team. I went through the pricing pages for both, and Windsurf has a free tier for individuals and a $20 per month pro plan, while Claude Code starts at $30 per user per month on team with no free tier. But both hide their enterprise pricing completely, which was the top complaint I kept seeing in community threads. Windsurf wins test 5. At the individual and small team level, the free tier and the $10 per month savings make Windsurf the clear call. So the final score is Windsurf 3, Claude Code 1, 1 tied. Windsurf wins on verified accuracy with a 40.08% SWE bench score, on speed at 950 tokens per second, on real-time collaboration where everyone edits live, on pricing with a free tier and $20 pro, and on deployment with a native Netlify one-click integration that Claude Code just doesn't have. Claude Code wins on context window with 200,000 plus tokens versus Windsurf's 100,000, on large codebase handling with on-demand reading, on external tool integrations through Slack, Linear, and HubSpot via MCP, and on team config consistency with a standardized silod.md setup file. Windsurf's verified 14x speed advantage and lower cost make the decision pretty clear for most developers, which kind of surprised me given how close I thought this would be. If you're doing everyday coding and want verified benchmarks at $20 a month, go Windsurf. If you're on a large repo over 100,000 lines and need Slack and Linear wired in, Claude Code is the safer pick. I ran Claude Code against Cursor next, and the context window advantage actually flips the pricing story in a way that surprised me, because Cursor's team plan undercuts both at scale, and that comparison is on the channel if you want to see where the math breaks differently.